Have you ever walked into a room and felt like everyone there had something you did not? Not a skill, not a certificate, something deeper than that. Like they were built for the room and you just wandered in by accident. Hi, my name is Joy Abraham, and this is the fear that almost stopped me before I even started. Let me take you back early in my IT career. I'm sitting in a room full of engineers, computer science degrees, on the wall, certifications after their names. They're throwing around terms like I have never heard in my life. Microservices, CI/CD pipeline, S/4HANA, SAP migration, RISE-IF objects. I'm nodding, smiling, taking notes like I understand everything. And inside, I have one thing going. How long before someone figures out I do not belong here? That feeling has a name, imposter syndrome. And it hits hardest when you have taken an unconventional path. Feeling like you do not belong is not a proof that you do not belong. It is just a feeling. And feelings are not facts. One day I did something that took everything I had. I walked up to one of the most senior leaders in the organizations, to maybe 3 levels above my manager, the kind of person who spoke about enterprise architecture like he was reading the morning newspaper. Well, I pulled him aside and asked him straight, is this normal, the feeling of sitting in a room and understanding nothing? He smiled and then he told me he came from a non-IT background too. I could not believe it. This man, this person I had been measuring myself against, he told me nobody walks in on day one knowing everything. He said, fake it till you make it. He meant stay in the room, keep showing up. That one conversation changed something in me because I stopped asking, why am I here? And I started asking, what can I bring to this room that nobody else can? And then the answer surprised me. I could communicate, I could listen to a client and understand not just what they were saying, but what they actually needed. I could translate complex technical ideas into language that decision makers, could act upon. I could build trust across seniorities, levels, across time zones. None of them came from a computer science degree. It came from who I was. From the very path I thought made me less qualified, the thing I thought disqualified me was actually my greatest advantage. And I almost missed it because I was too busy feeling like I was not enough. Think about it for a moment. MS Dhoni was punching tickets at a railway station. Shah Rukh Khan was doing street theatre in Delhi with no connections and no film family. Arnold Schwarzenegger was told his accent alone would end his career before it started. None of them had straight line. None of them had permission. None of them waited until they felt ready. They just stayed in the room. I'm not comparing myself to any of these people, but I will tell you this honestly. I came from a non-IT background. I sat in rooms where I understood nothing. I went home and studied about those technologies, put serious efforts to learn about them. Today when people come to me after the meetings, they say, Joy, you were so good in technical discussions with customers and we feel jealous of your technical expertise. And I just smile inside because they're seeing the result, not the journey. They are seeing the confidence in the room. They're not seeing the nights I sat trying to understand even the basic concepts. They're not seeing the meetings where I understood nothing. They're not seeing the fear I carried for years. And I tell you what I told them. I was not born with it. I built it by staying in the room, by asking questions, by learning when nobody was watching, and by not walking away when it felt uncomfortable. What looks like confidence today is just a consistency over time. And today I work with some of the largest companies in the world, across Europe, across the US, across India. That is not a small thing. And if you look at how God works, He rarely picks the obvious person. He picks people who feel unsure, people who feel unprepared, people who feel like they're not fully fit. And instead of fixing everything about them, first, He gives them something else, His presence. If you have ever felt overlooked or underestimated, or like you do not fully belong, that might not be a weakness, that might be exactly where your story begins. Now let me give you something practical because inspiration without action stays inspiration. That is not a failure, that is just a timing. Second, get specific about what you are actually good about. Write it down, not in a general way, specifically. I'm good at building client relationships. I'm good at understanding business problems. I'm good at communication across cultures. When the imposter feeling came, I read that list. Third, you need to act before you feel ready. And I will be honest with you here. Even making these videos, there are hundreds of things running through my mind. How will I sound? How will I look? Will the editing match the top YouTubers? What will people think? But honestly speaking, I don't give a damn, respectfully. And that is not the arrogance, that is the clarity. I know my why. My why is to share my story with the world. And if this video touches even one person, motivates one person, uplifts one person, mission accomplished. That is enough for me. The perfect moment will never arrive. I have waited for it. It does not come. You start with what you have, where you are, and you trust the process. And fourth, something which is very close to my heart and very personal. Every single morning, before walking into those rooms, not asking God to make me more technical or more qualified on paper, just asking for His presence. Because I have learned that where His presence is, inadequacy does not get the final word. Well, the next part is for someone specific. You know who you are. You're sitting in a job right now, and some days you look around and think, how long before someone figures out I do not belong? You have a career you want, but the voice in your head keeps running the same list. Not qualified enough, not smart enough, not experienced enough, not yet. Or maybe you have a dream you have not told anyone about. Because you're afraid that moment you say it out loud, someone will confirm the thing you already fear about yourself. I have been that person. You're not behind, you're not late, you are not disqualified, you are exactly where God needs you to be right now. So He can take you where He has planned for you to go. He would not have brought you this far to leave you here. The room you snuck into by mistake be exactly where He placed you on purpose. Before you go, do one thing. Write down the room you have been afraid to walk into. The opportunity you keep telling yourself you're not ready for it. Write it down, and underneath it, write this. I was placed here on purpose because you know what? You were. If this connected with you, share it with one person who needs it today. Stay in the room. I will see you next week.